It's the same as the other, the trillions and trillions and trillions. I said, yes, that's correct, that's correct. And he says, and so we deserve to be here just like, no, that's not correct. In your opinion, snowflakes melt under pressure. Some people, most people, in my judgment, don't really want to be successful if it takes any sacrifice whatsoever. Everybody's scared to death of what might happen, and so they want to come across as your friend. They don't want people to say bad things about you. And it gets back to athletics. Our three children, which are millennials, we're right at the outer edge as our oldest son, but they were in athletic programs in schools just when the no-win, you participate ribbons. And I took them out of athletics. And that was the beginning of the deterioration of my judgment, manly education.
There's a different way to treat HIV. It's once monthly injectable Cabenuva.
Even the guys that make it to your castle,
correct,
for over 20 grand,
correct.
Even they don't want to be successful.
Well, once they think or once they see what it costs in human resources, that ain't for me. It's not what happens to us in life, it's how we interpret what happens to us in life. It's how we're trained emotionally to cope with information that we don't like. You can't hurt, sticks and stones can break your bones, but words can never hurt you. That's what the saying was when I was maybe 1 to 15. And so I just, shied it on. And I said, if you want to make something of it, we'll step out and we'll see who's right and who's wrong. That's how we used to settle who's right and who's wrong. The guy that's standing over the guy that's on the ground. And a lot of times I got the shit kicked out of me. I don't know if you can protect people to a fault. I know when you have kids, as you do now, you can protect kids to a fault. Of course, that's why we have snowflakes, because they've led a bubble wrap life. My dad, I'm glad he's not alive to see this, because the more snowflakes you have, the less the possibility of the Earth making it.
Okay, but you want the Earth to make it.
Yeah, I do. Men aren't what they used to be. Men aren't the guys from the 14 and 1500s that sailed the ocean blue to find various parts of the world.
Right, that's hurting us.
In a devastating manner. I gave you a couple stats, again, I'm going to say them again, they're worth repeating. In 1986, the average man's handshake pressure was 118 pounds. 30-year-old man, 118 pounds. 2016, 96 pounds. A woman, 1986, was 105 pounds. Today, 110 pounds. 110 pounds. Testosterone levels in sperm counts tested 50 years ago, and today they're producing 60 to 70% the amount of testosterone levels in sperm counts as they did. We're dying out.
So look, I remember when I was up at the castle, I said they don't make them like Dan Pena anymore, and we should cherish for what he tells us. You're kind of giving us a glimpse into what we were in the past, and you're trying to remind us that there were good things there.
Yeah.
And what do you say against all the people that say, well, violence isn't the solution, and we should embrace the feminine side, and all of that stuff?
Okay, I'll say if love worked, there would be no personal development. Love doesn't get the job done, okay? Love doesn't work. Religion doesn't work. Nothing works other than if you have self-esteem as a human being. You're a better person, you're a better father, you're a better husband, a better wife, whatever the heck, you're a better citizen. You take life more seriously if you have self-esteem, if you have self-worth. Gallup poll did in 2016-17 a study. 86.6% of the people on the planet, of the 7.6 or 7 billion, are unhappy. They've locked out. They're not looking for anything in life. And I say I'd like to find the 13%. Because most people are living hand to mouth. Most people are living paycheck to paycheck. They just don't. Most people too easily lose focus. And here when they're asking me, and the numbers that they fill out and the forms they fill out are really discerning. Like some of the new stuff that you didn't have when you filled it out. What's the high point of your life? What's the high point of your father's life? What's the high point of your mother's life? That tells you a lot. And they write it there. And then, do you consider your parents high performance? If not, why not? Okay? Do your parents consider themselves high performers? That's a funky question, but I mean, you may think your dad's not a high performance guy, and yet your dad thinks he's a high performance. But if somebody said something I didn't like, I fucking.
About the porn stars and the infidelities and the payoffs and that separating kids from their parents.
And you're talking about all presidents for the last 100 years the same. Kennedy builds a tunnel under the fucking White House to get his fucking hookers in and out. I mean, I go on and on and on. But if you don't think money can buy happiness, you don't know where to fucking shop. You can get money and then go save the world. You can get money and save the forests in Brazil. You make money and go save global warming. I don't believe it.
But if you guys gonna do first time on earth, we changed the gas.
Now you're full of shit. Sit down. I'm gonna answer you. Shut up and sit down. The last seminar and the seminar before that, I said, is there any guy here that stands at the urinal to pee that wouldn't like to do the things that Trump said he's done to these fucking porn stars? Not one goddamn guy said no. One black guy said, I want to fucking savagely, like an animal. That's how guys think. Has alluded to global warming. Now one motherfucker. If it were really true, the banks wouldn't invest. The banks wouldn't finance. Now one motherfucking condominium. So the people that have the money, and I'm jealous of the Vice President, Gore, which Sally and I rode on a plane from South America with a few years ago. I'm jealous he came up with a scam before I did. Now making money is better than the 80s. And they say my generation ripped the ass out of the world because of the 80s. And I'm proud to be one of those that ripped it. I've got kids right now that are financing deals in Europe at 2.6, 2.7%. If your deal doesn't make money paying 2.5%, I mean, you should blow your brains out. And I would just skype without a picture. Now you see, you all think I'm bullshit when I'm saying this. I'm saying this fucking to you fucking monkeys. I've been doing this 50 fucking years. If you're a Mongoloid, if you're the Hunchback of Notre Dame, you know, and financially all you are. Because the more snowflakes we have, the less the possibility is worth making it. That's what you want there. Yeah, I do. It's like my snowflake test. You know, first question, paraphrasing it. By the way, we have 95.4% of everybody, many thousands, tens of thousands who take a test are cunts. First question on the test, paraphrasing it. What would you do if somebody spit in your wife's face? And the answers range from, well, I try to ascertain what kind of day he was having. And if he had a bad day, I try to understand it. Are you fucking shitting me? I'd be in prison for murder. I would beat the guy to death. Or if I couldn't beat him to death, I'd find somebody in a fight to beat him to death. Everybody know who the Hunchback of Notre Dame is? Probably know. That's what you are financially. You don't know a fucking thing. When I tell you, use Skype without a picture, I fucking mean it. And if you're a reasonably good-looking woman, I'm not even going to go there. And you know what I mean? shouldn't have to do it on your back. Love is great, but I don't need it. Respect will do.
Yep.
My mother, the day before my mother died, I'm screaming at the castle. I'm screaming at her, Mom, you're not fucking sick. You're not gonna die. Stop being a bitch. And I walk out the room the next morning, she's dead. That Alex wants a fucking case study. Because he wants to know the shit behind it, because he's stupid. And that's why he's fucking poor. This is why you're fucking poor. This is why the cocksuckers watching this on YouTube are so fucking poor. Yeah. But a lot of politicians are afraid of me. Afraid of what I might do. Yes, I have choked people. I have done shit like that. But I haven't done it in a long time. But if somebody said something I didn't like, I fucking smack them right on the fucking screen. I don't give a shit. Most people, in my judgment, don't really want to be successful, but it takes any sacrifice whatsoever.
Even the guys that make it to your castle,
Correct.
over 20 grand,
Correct.
even they don't want to be successful.
Once they think, or once they see what it costs in human resources, fuck that ain't for me. We have a 40% dropout rate. You have never met anybody like me, and you probably never will. Because you're a cunt with the vagina cream. I give you this vagina cream so you can rub it on your snaps, because you're all cunts. I made teenage multimillionaires, 17, 18, 19. The audience, what were you doing other than jacking off at 17, 18, 19? Nothing. And everybody you know is a cunt. Don't you understand that? Do you know anybody with any balls whatsoever? Do you know any real men? And your parents did it to you. And for those of you that put on your fucking paper, I have no regrets. God help you! Allah, Buddha! You fucking sorry weenies! And for a couple of you that say my parents have no regrets, all they gotta do is look at you! Are you fucking crazy? If they don't regret having you, you should have been the shit that rolled down the inside of your mama's leg!
Yeah. Get him, Dan. I love this job.
Had enough good times. There's no question. Don't thank me, moron. You have no idea what the fuck you're saying.
One of the last dinosaurs, baby. Don't thank me, moron. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Now, I feel like doing my affirmation. When I was at your stage of your career, I did the affirmation 2 3 times a day. You have money and planes and yachts and stuff like that. I said, what the fuck? What am I doing my affirmation for? And then you could be gypsy and just, I got bimbos with big tits sitting on my lap. I mean, I'm having a life of party. I'm in San Diego, I'm in Thailand, I'm in... And he hasn't made dick. I don't give a shit. He broke his leg, he broke his back, he had a fucking stroke. I don't give a shit. You know why I don't give a shit? Because life doesn't give a shit. He writes me, work 17 hours today. I said, what is that? On fucking vacation? And he had an 18-hour, 20-hour. No, I'm up 40 hours straight. So fucking what? Does he want an award? They don't give you an award when you're up 40 hours straight? No, I don't give him anything except a slap in the face. And I certainly don't high-five him. One of his managers was bragging about his team had 100% attendance that week. That means he came to work. They came to work every day. Didn't say if they came to work late, like a gypsy Romanian. They came to work every day. And so when the manager walked by and stood up and high-fived, I fired him right then. Because I knew if that's all the fuck his expectations were, because the cocksucker came to work every day, we hired the wrong guy. I'm like, you, I'd have to think about, well, maybe I'm going to give him a second chance. Maybe the gypsy fucking bum, I'll give him a second chance. Yes.
Does the film goes on YouTube everything? We have to edit the gypsy, blah, 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 blah.
No, we're not changing the fucking on anything.
No, but we don't put on YouTube because there will be some people watching. And if you want to put some blogs with whatever, just to mock on people, that's not fair. I mean, we can keep them mocking in the room. It's,
No, you're wrong. We can't keep it in the goddamn room.
we cannot put everything on the internet.
Hey, we can put anything I want to fucking put on the internet, so shut the fuck up. And well, I don't give a fuck with you. And if I don't like what you put on the internet while you're here, I'll throw you out of the fucking castle. And if you think I'm kidding, try me. Fucking try me. And if you don't like it, get out now.
I mean, it's not.
I don't give a fuck. You understand me? Don't piss me off. You're in no position to piss me off. Okay, we left off with our billionaire on the front of Forbes magazine. Blessed are those who expect nothing, for they shall not be disappointed.
Oh, Lord.
Only the sun follows me. The sun shines out my asshole.
Wow. That's a definite confession.
I'm a rainmaker. I make shit happen. All the people don't necessarily like what happens. Listen to this, you fucking nerd kids, cunts. The reason why you kids don't get more done is because you do too many fucking things and you do them all poorly. Focus. I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks on this fucking podcast. I can assure you that. Okay. And when the stock market went down 20% in the last few days, I'm in cash in 5 of the biggest banks in the world. And if the 5 big banks go down, I'm gonna ride like the 5th horseman of the apocalypse, riding through the streets, taking all your fucking money out of your little pockets, taking your little pennies and ripping your fucking head off and shitting down your neck. We're gonna fuck you for practice, kids. So you better man up. You better man up. I'm the alpha male that you don't ever want to see on the street. You know the difference when I tell you I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. Klaus Kleinfeld, who's up there on the Hall of Fame, a number of years ago, I was supposed to meet him at the Frankfurt airport. I was introducing him to some luminaries. I was involved in a very serious accident. So when I showed up at the airport, I'm slumped over like this, and I have one of these metallic blankets, you know, that the Red Cross put on you when you're almost dead. And so they pushed me up like this, and Klaus, he said, God almighty, Dan, what's wrong? What happened to you? Why are you here? I said, I told you I'd be here. Now, what had happened to me is I was racing dune buggies, and I was going about 50, 60 miles an hour. I hit a boulder, and the dune buggy went up in the air and flipped and landed back down on me, cracked my sternum, collapsed all my lungs, punctured my liver, punctured my spleen, punctured part of one of the main things that go to your heart, broke 8 ribs, almost died. But I was there to meet Klaus. Klaus says he still remembers that when he thinks he's got a cold, he's not going to go to a meeting. Now he has a flashback from that. Now, why was I like that? Well, the reason I was like that is because when I was 6 years old, my dad was head of the CID, Criminal Investigation Division of the United States Army Europe during the Korean War. My mother and I sailed across the Atlantic to meet him, and he said, I'll pick you up, son. A long-distance phone calls in those days he couldn't hear, and it was all scratchy. I'll be there, son. Okay. So he's at La Havre, picks us up. So I go to put my arms around him to give him a hug. I bring my hand back, like in a horror movie, massive, just blood all over. So I said, Daddy, what happened? What happened? I said, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And he takes me, feel like this, just walked in the little, where his driver was. He had just had surgery. They took a tumor out of his back, and he wouldn't let them put him under a general anesthetic, only a local. And he had a .45 automatic on his chest with mirrors to watch the surgeon, because he had a lot of top secret information, he was the head of the CID, etc. Just stitch me up. I gotta go pick up my son. So when you've seen that, when you're 6, you're not gonna let all that shit that happened to me not fulfill a commitment. Now you might have a migraine, or you've got diarrhea, and you'll miss a meeting. That's the difference. The corollary of that is when I say I'm gonna fuck you up, I mean I'm gonna fuck you up. That's just not a fucking metaphor. And when I say I'm accused of, I wouldn't say this on YouTube. I'm going to kill your children, your grandchildren, your goldfish, and everybody in your extended family. People believe me. Of course, that's all myth. But commitment, these guys understood. These guys can't spell it. The millennials are lazy cunts. Yes, sir.
If you employ an accounting company or a law company, do you use them for all the work?
Well, when you have some of the big firms, they have everything. They've got soup to nuts.
Yeah, but is it really necessary? So you are employing, I don't know, maybe a secretary and making an employment of maybe 3,000 euros, and then you're paying, I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, a secretary paying 3,000 euros is not going to cover all your labor law obligations. That's why she gets paid 3,000 euros a month.
Yeah, that's right. But the question is, do you really need such a big law?
Yes, the answer is yes. Your cheapness and stupidity is showing through your glasses. Most people think just exactly how he's saying, and it's wrong. It's
Also,
wrong.
just the general accounting goes just the general.
No. Now you're just a cheap little fuck. And you list KPMG, and now you're somebody. And they give you the benefit of the doubt. You are judged by who you keep company with professionally.
Maybe that to do with the diligence world.
Yeah, well, I mean, in 5 years, you tell me how your program worked out, okay? I know what my program worked out. Your program hasn't worked out based on your rationale so far, has it? No, don't give me any fucking excuse. It hasn't, so I'm not interested in your fucking opinion. How have your programs been working out the way you've been doing it? I rest my fucking case. Political correctness is a manifestation of lack of fucking self-esteem because you're all cunts. I've been called a lot of things in my life, but I mean a cunt's not one of them. I can just see your eyes glossing over like you're fucking dead. Or you've been doing ayahuasca because you cunts all want everybody to love you. I don't want anybody to love me. I don't want anybody to even fucking like me. Do you think Donald Trump gives a shit what you think of him? Do you think Steve Jobs, when he was alive, gave a shit? Do you think Mark Zuckerberg gives a shit? Only you weak cunts give a shit. You know what the average bank manager in the UK, how many calls he gets a year? 25,000. Who do you think that bank man, that poor fucker that's down on the high street in Manchester, did they answer over 25,000 calls? The squeaky wheel gets the grease. The guy that called 85 times, that's who they call. You call a bank a couple times, they don't answer your call and you forget about it. I used to call them hundreds of Bruce Whipple and I, back in the day. Correct me, Bruce, I know you watch us. You were calling Kraft, I think, the CFO at Kraft. And he answered Bruce's phone call on the 100th call, the 100th time. It wasn't an accident that asshole answered it on 100. One of the questions you're going to think of, when is it being too pushy? Never. I've chased bankers down the street running from me. I have parked my car in the driveway so they couldn't get into their garage. The first question out of his mouth, how did you find out where I live? Just lucky, I guess. His name is Jim. Just lucky, I guess, Jim. It's 5 in the morning. How long you been here? Well, your wife brought me off coffee at 11:30, but I didn't think it was right for me to be in the house with you not there, which is a true story. At his house. Outside 6 hours. Had a good-looking wife, though. If I wasn't there for business, not that kind of business, but I mean, that business was a hell of a lot more important than when she came in their, okay, they call them dressing gowns here. She was a good-looking bitch, though. Okay, thank you, Kat. Any death threats? No? See, the people are getting pussies. Can't even get a decent death threat anymore. We had people quit at the seminar, during the seminar. We have a no refund policy. We had people quit the first week, the second week, the third week. It's because I'm hard. I don't give a fuck if your mother died in your arms. Where's the fucking weekly report, you cunt? I'm serious. I don't give a shit. We've had guys, their wife is giving birth. As God is my witness. He's a doctor, Dr. Joe. Push, honey. Oh, yeah, Dan, I got push, honey, push. I don't give a shit. Nobody doesn't understand. Nobody cares about all the trials and tribulations of your fucking weak, tough life. Don't you understand that? What the fuck do I have to do here? You fucking morons. You're welcome. Why not just go to another setup puppet? I mean, you're not motivated to set up puppet. I don't even talk to them.
Stay hard, y'all.